Hello again, students. Let's do the last laughing balloon. Answer questions about each person's place or percentile rank. All right, so I'm going to give you kind of a medley of all these different places and ranks and how many people you defeated and all those things. So here we go. Let's just take it one at a time here. Brad defeated 62 opponents out of 80. What was his percentile rank? Okay, so remember, the best way to find percentile rank is this guy right here. You, the one person, plus the number of people behind you divided by a total. You could also find this number by taking the total minus the number of people ahead of you, and then you divide by the total. And then here are some other things. You take your place minus 1, that gives you the number of people ahead of you. And if you go total minus place, that gives you the number of people behind you. So we're really trying to dive deep into like competitions and total people and where you place and behind you, ahead of you, all of those things. We're breaking that stuff down mathematically. Anyway, Brad defeated 62 opponents out of 80. Okay, so percentile rank would be you plus the number behind you over total. Okay, so here's Brad and the 62 people that Brad defeated. So we would take 1 plus 62 and divide by 80. That's how you get percentile rank. It's you, Brad, and the 62 people behind you out of 80. So technically, if Brad beat 62 people, he's like 63rd in line. So you think about like worst is first and last is best. He's the 63rd person. So 62 people got beat. He was the 63rd person to fall. So I'm guessing because if there's, if you've got 63 people behind you, you probably fell next. So he's the 63rd person to fall. That's a good way to think of it that way. 63 divided by 80 is to the nearest whole percent. I get like 0.7875. So this 7's going to round you to a 9. So he is the 79th percentile. Okay, cool. Let's talk about Chad. Chad's class rank was 95% out of the 220 students. Oh boy, how are we going to figure this out? Well, let's see here. So I like to think of it this way. If Chad was 95%, that means 5% did better than him. Okay, so that's what he is. He's the 95th in line. So think about like 100 people in line. He's the 95th in line. So there's 5% that did better than him. So I'm going to use that. So if 5% did better, 5% were ahead of him, I'm going to use 0.05. Okay, so I'll write that down here. So 5% did better than him. So if we know the total, we can find 5% of 220. Okay, so check this out. We're going to find the actual number of people ahead of him. That'll help us find the place. So 5% did better of the 220 people. So 0.05 times 220 is 11. Okay, now we got to be careful here. Okay, 11 people did better than Chad. 11 people did better than Chad. So we got to think about where is Chad's actual place. He is in 12th place. And you're like, no, he's 11th place. No. This 11 is the 11 people ahead of him. So you can use this little formula right here. Place minus 1 equals ahead of you. So if we don't know the place, minus 1 equals 11. We can add 1, add 1. Oh, the place he's actually 12th place. There you go. So Chad is actually 12th place. To be the 95th percentile in a class of 220, he's actually 12th place. Because we found 5%, and that's 11, so that's 11 people ahead of him. So if there's 11 people ahead of him, he's going to be 12th place. We could have also calculated this. I think if we use 0.95, if we do 0.95 times 220, we would get a pretty big number. Let me see here. What is it? 0.95 times 220 is 209. Okay. So 209 out of 220, that is actually 12th place. So like if you started from the top and worked your way down, if you were the 209th person from the top, you're also 12th place. You can calculate that way as well. But to me, I think it's a little bit easier to do like the 5%, and that's the 11 people ahead of you. But, you get the same number no matter how you get there. So what do we got next? This one's tricky. Okay, be on your toes for this one. You might need to set up a little bit of a proportion for this one. Okay, Thad got 29th place, and his percentile rank was 60%. How many people entered the race? Oh my goodness, we're trying to find the total. okay? So again, I'm going to try to use the whole idea of the number ahead, okay? So if you got 29th place, place minus 1 equals ahead of you. Okay, so with Thad, 28 people did better than him, okay? So I'm trying to find the total. So if I do like part over total, so remember proportions from, a billion years ago. If we do part over total, because that's what we're trying to find, how many people enter the race, we're trying to find the total. So 28 people were better than Thad out of how many? Well, if he was the 60th percentile, that means 40% did better than him. All right? So what I'm doing here is I'm comparing apples to apples here. So 28 did better, 40% did better. So this will give me the total, because with percent problems, if you do part over total, you want to put a 100 right here. So we're bringing back the old percent problems from, forever, a million years ago. I can't remember when we did those. Chapter 6, Chapter 5, I don't know. Probably last semester. Now you can cross multiply and divide, and you can get the total. Okay. So if you go 100 times 28 and then divide by 40, which I haven't done yet, you get 70. Okay. So cross multiply and divide, 70 people. There were 70 people, okay, in that race. He placed 29th. So now let's double check. Let's make sure we actually get 60 percentile. So you place 29th. Let's see here. You and the number behind you, how can we calculate the actual percentile? Well, if you got 29th, let's see, total, where we got it? Place minus 1, there's 28 people ahead of you. Total minus ahead of you, you and the number behind you. Let's see here. Well, if there's 70 and you got 29th, that means there's 42 people behind you. Yeah, there we go. So 42 people behind you out of 70. So that's you and the people behind you. I take it back. Well, the way the 28 people did better than you, you would just do 70 total minus 28, excuse me, and that would give you 42. 42 over 70 is 60th percentile. Okay, good. Checks out. Just double checking. I got kind of lost in the numbers here. Maybe I shouldn't do like 3 different flavors of questions all in one question, but hey, take it one at a time and don't overthink it. If you overthink it, you're gonna double guess yourself and you're gonna make a mistake. Follow the formulas. And then be careful with this last one with the whole people ahead of you. That's going to be the tricky one. So the Thad's question is going to be pretty tricky. So be careful with that one. Otherwise, follow these 4 things. They're going to help you out most of the time. And that's about all you need to do for the last laughing balloon. All right, see you in class, y'all.